Alright, I just want to say off rip. Both of these motherfuckers is problematic, including Tiny. And I know y'all like, what Tiny do? Tiny problematic in her own weird ass way. This nigga problematic because of how petty and he can be and how vindictive he can be. 50. T.I. is problematic in his weird ass patriarchal stance, pseudo intellectual bullshit, talking about monitoring his daughter's hymen. Nigga, that's weird behavior. All of these motherfuckers involved is problematic. That being said, 50 in this case is the motherfucking problem. I'm just tripping off the fact that this whole thing got started over a versus. Now the real versus, in my opinion, would have been Tip versus Luda. But yeah, obviously they're not in a space where they can actually do that without bad feelings popping up, so leave that alone. So Tip versus 50, I think it would have been a decent match. I was wondering, I felt like, is Tip really on 50's level? And it honestly depends, because everybody's like, well, who would win? And a lot of people are trying to get the edge to 50. I think it depends on who is in the audience and who the audience primarily is that's watching. Considering that versus tends to be mostly black and hip-hop, I really think that in that instance, if the audience is mostly black and mostly hip-hop oriented, Tip is going to win because Tip is a better lyricist and just a better rapper overall compared to 50. 50's not a good rapper. 50's an okay rapper who's decent at storytelling, and if you give him the right beat, the shit goes crazy. Where 50 has the edge over Tip is if the audience is mixed, because his commercial success is just eclipses T.I.'s in my opinion. In the club, then you got G-Unit Stunt. That shit went crazy. Then in addition to that, he had crossover appeal with Justin Timberlake with the AO technology shit. So I think if the audience is mixed, 50's gonna get the edge. If it's a mostly hip-hop black audience, Tip is gonna win it. And I think 50 kind of understands this, which is probably why he's not really itching to do a versus, because there's a possibility he's gonna lose, and he knows it. Especially if we're just keeping it straight up hip-hop. Like, Tip, fuck a mixtape, nigga. Like, that was, I still remember that. And I was listening to that for a long ass time, because I think that's when he had just got out of jail or whatever. Anyway. But I'm looking at it in today's time. And it's like, 50, if you didn't want to do the verses, you actually had an easy out. And the out was, you know what? I'm out of hip hop for real. I haven't released albums in a long ass time. I'm really focused on this, production, film, movie shit. And that's where I'm focusing all my energies. So that's why I don't want to do the verses with Tip. That could have been your response. And all he had to do was say that, and I think everybody would have understood it, because we do see that 50's kind of like outside of hip hop now. He hasn't been involved in hip hop in a very, very long time. Ever since his second album, I feel like he's really been trying to move like Jay. It's just unlike Jay, he hasn't been able to release albums in the interim to remind motherfuckers who he is. You see what I'm saying? But he's really been trying to move like Jay. So I understand he had an easy out, and I feel like he could have just taken that and just left it alone. But for some fucking reason, this nigga decided to go back into his old ass ways, and I don't understand why. Actually, I do understand why. It's because he has not grown the fuck up. The man has not matured. And that's kind of sad, because this nigga 50 is 50. He is 50 fucking years old. I'm like 10 years his junior, and I'm like, nigga, what was the point in you bringing up his wife? What was the point in you doing all that? Like, what was the point? Even if you felt a way about Tip, at least keep it to him. But I realized that that's only the type of thinking that occurs as you get older, when you start to understand that I need to match energy with people who are on my level, right? I.e., as a man, I'm not going to go target a bunch of women when my real issue is with another man. But when you a grimy ass street nigga who is still mentally stuck in a teenage mindset, well, he talking about me, I'm talking about his girlfriend. It's like that. Like, that's like how his mind moves and how his mind thinks. And I just don't think that's good for him, good for the culture, and good for business in general. Like, I would be looking at him sideways just from a maturity perspective if I'm looking at this weird nigga and I want to do business with him. Because he can sit there on Gayle King and, Good Morning America or whatever and do that fake smiling ass shit that he do. He hasn't really grown the fuck up. He hasn't matured. He's very duplicitous in how he moves, and I don't like that shit. He is a snake ass nigga. Like, he just is. And it's made evident in how he's operating and moving right now. You are too fucking old to be engaging in this shit. All you had to do was just tell him, man, I'm not interested in the verses because I haven't been in hip-hop in at least a decade. I really prefer to focus on this shit, and that's just where I want to go. And if niggas want to talk shit, they gonna talk shit. You could have just kept it moving. But no, you are trying to maintain your status inside the hip-hop community, not via your music, but via your petty-ass, trolling-ass, emotionally, mentally stunted-ass ways. You cannot be a 50-year-old trying to engage like you still a teenager or you're in your early 20s. It's not going to translate, because a bunch of 20-somethings is looking at you at the age of 50 and going, why are you still acting like this? They do have expectations of people as they get older. And you should have expectations of yourself as you get older. And the fact that he hasn't hit that is really kind of sad. Because I say this as a person who had a bunch of 50s albums. I was a fan of this man. I grew the fuck up. Why did you not